their video. Going to actually take a look at one tonight. That is because of the voting on the channel. Going to be a stout. So thank you to all that participated there. I'm kind of enjoying this on Monday, making it a you call it type night for the beer that you might want me to actually check out and try. And out of all the votes that were coming in there, stout was a clear runaway winner. Not sure if it's because of the time of year, which is more popular for stouts right now, or you guys really just like to see a lot of different stouts out there. But tonight, I'm going to be checking out one from out of Akron, Ohio. And this is one I picked up during some of my travels somewhere. I can't remember where I was when I got this. It was either Jungle Gyms or when I went up to Columbus, Ohio. I can't remember offhand. Hey, what's happening? You do it. Cheers. Yeah, you are early, my friend. You are right on time. Not early, you're right on time. Welcome and a Merry Christmas season to you as well. Thanks for the tag on Instagram as well. Definitely appreciate that. But tonight, out of Akron, Ohio, and hey, Erie, cheers. This is from Hoppin Frog. It is their D.O.R.I.S, I think, D.O.R.I.S Destroyer Double Imperial Stout. So this is a big boy here, and 22-ounce bottle. This one actually comes in at 10.5% ABV. And let me get this side cam over here so you can actually see it, I think, a little bit better in this one up here. It's got the nice frog on it, which is their logo. And it definitely jumps out at you off the label, which is kind of nice. And it is an oatmeal Russian Imperial Stout, double Russian Imperial Stout. The one thing I would say about this one that would be my knock on the bottle is they do not have a date listed. So that does suck there. I looked all over, did not see a date on here. Don't even see a code. So I just hate that breweries when they don't do that, which I don't know why or how they can get away with that. Now, with it being a 10.5% ABV and knowing it came out this year, I'm not worried about it, but everything should have a date on there. I tried to check it to see if anything got rubbed off the neck or anything like that, but did not see anything. So it is what it is, and we'll have to roll with it. Dads, what's going on? Cheers, my friend. Oh, it's a beast, huh? So Dad's had this one before. So I actually got the triple as well. I had the triple Russian Imperial. I was deciding, do I want to go double, do I want to go triple? The triple is, I think, 13.5 or 7 or whatever, but I'm going to do that one probably next couple days as well. But being now that it is, for me, the beginning of the holiday day, because I did have to work earlier today, which was slow as hell, kind of boring. Did a few things here and there, but I was so happy when it time came at 5 o'clock to actually leave. And then had to make some dinner. Ended up frying some pork chops earlier with some baked potatoes and vegetables. Got a nice full belly from that, and now I am ready to drink for the holiday season. So this is what I'm starting out with here. Who knows where I'll end up with by the time it's all said and done. What's going on, Paul? Cheers, my friend. Welcome. Good to see you. The bottle labels are the same in ABV with the BA and non-BA, which makes no sense. Really? Interesting. I did not know that. The ones I all have from Hoppin Frog are all the barrel age. So, oh no, this isn't the barrel age. This is the non-barrel age. So the barrel age is also 10.5 as well. Then, BA Taurus is 10 out of 10 all damn day. I want more of it badly. Yeah, I was looking forward to this one on the double. I'm looking forward to the one that's a triple as well, which I'll be getting into soon. Still got some other big stouts to also deal with, but I figured a nice one to start Monday evening. Get it into a nice snifter glass, hashtag proper glassware, you know what I'm saying? So, supposed to put the high ABV stuff in it, which I will say, a snifter glass can help to open up the aromas. But as far as it tastes, you can get that pretty much out of any of the glasses. decent smelling. And I let this one sit out for about 35 minutes or so before cracking it open. On the bottle, it will tell you to refrigerate it. So it was in the cooler, but we're in good shape now. Get a nice feel of chocolate coming out. A little bit of that coffee aroma as well. With it being an oatmeal stout, I should have some nice creaminess in the texture. Almost kind of like lactose-like in the way it actually feels on your tongue. But a nice sweetness. You're getting a little bit of a dessert type play in it. A little bit of a decadence, a little bit of a richness there as well. Everything you would kind of expect. Hopefully, it is not too thin, right, Paul? We don't want the thin beer, so let's get the taste. Better be room temp, sons. Oh, that is nice and smooth. And it's not too thin anyway, which is nice. Not overly thick, but plays the middle very well. Getting a nice after duration flavor of the chocolate. Really coming in strong right now. Almost has a nice feel that I can relate to kind of like a fudge type dessert. It's a bit thin, but still beautiful. I mean, it's not overly thin. We've had ones that are definitely at a 10% level that have been thinner than what this one offers. You know, kind of playing that Goldilocks middle bed type situation with this one here. But that flavor is still kicking after that initial swallow there. Can definitely feel it nicely in the cheeks. I do get some of the booziness that does come through in it. I get more of the booziness on the initial. After the swallow, it ends up going to more of the flavors of the beer. I could actually enjoy this with a nice piece of chocolate cake, to tell you the truth. It's got a chocolate cake type feel to it. Get that bitterness in there, almost like basically that coffee bitterness when you're thinking about it. 70 IBU on this one, so you know you're going to get a little bit of that bite. But if you're a coffee fan and you like beers that kind of suit that way, obviously stouts or something, that you're going to get that coffee type feel because of the way they use the malts and everything that comes through easier. U.D.O.R.I.S says, all these descriptive words, I have to look up half of them in the dictionary. We dumb over here in Jersey. Hey, man, I came from Jersey. I grew up in New Jersey. Maybe I learned after I left New Jersey. Hey, what's happening, Beer Hound? Cheers, my friend, out there in the OC. What is going on? It's a nice feel. It's pretty solid. It's not, I would say, one of the top-notch imperial stouts, double imperial stouts that I've had, but it's got a nice solid representation with it. Hoppin Frog is known through Ohio as being very good, very decent with their beers. That oatmeal gives it that little bit of a fluff or so in the texture of it. It's kind of what I would say, it's not as velvety as when they use like a lactose, but it's got that kind of smoothness, almost like it's just laying there on the tongue nicely. And you think about the old candy bar commercials and how they would show like the candy getting layered and you'd have like the caramel being swerved on top of the candy bar. It's kind of that kind of feel in my mind. It just lays there ever so nicely into it, that it's got a nice smoothness. I know you left New Jersey. Yeah. Well, I left New Jersey to go to college. I didn't go back. I mean, I just went a little bit more west, but I'll actually be back in New Jersey next year though. I'll be back up there visiting, so that'll be awesome. Didi, what is going on, my friend? Too bad you can't get some of this fruit cake with all this rum in it. Oh, there you go. Get after it with the fruit cake. Well, I can get beers that are similar to fruit cake that give you that feel. Paul has a 12% Imperial Stout from Una Ann, Hubbard's Cave to enjoy tonight. Very nice. So, Paul, are you off tonight? I know you were working Christmas Eve. You said you had to work, and I think maybe Christmas night, but hopefully you're off then tonight. Hopefully you're not working all 3 nights there. Hey, what's happening, Todd? Cheers, buddy. He says, cheers all and Merry Christmas. Yeah, definitely Merry Christmas to everyone here. And then, Todd, if you're still up for it, after the stream, we can do some gaming on there, or I was going to think about doing a hangout tonight with some of the crew that might want to jump on. I just got to watch my hours now with StreamYard since they're trying to cut stuff right now. But I could be up for doing a few different things. Might actually break out some whiskey tonight. Paul said, I always grab D.O.R.I.S when I can find it. Yeah, I'm looking forward to actually drinking the triple one now that I have down there too. So I was, I don't know if you got here in time, Paul, I was debating between the double or the triple tonight. And I went ahead and went with the double here. It's got a nice feel to it. Anybody else to see like the pouring of it, like the legs and everything. I mean, it's definitely a solid quality brew. I'm getting that chocolate really coming through right now. More of a baker's chocolate. I wouldn't mind having another one of those Yingling Hershey chocolate ones. I don't know if anybody's got a chance to get those out there. They've only been on draft, and you have to get them like at places that have taps. But that is like drinking a Hershey's candy bar. So if you happen to see that, I definitely recommend it. Beer House says palate is destroyed. Behalf of Coronado, never better Dippa, just amazing brew. Todd Paul, is there any beer not too thin for you? LOL. Paul says, just off tonight, then I'll be back. He'll be back for a 9-day stretch. All right, so you're up for either. That works. And Paul says, not really, Todd. Unan feels strength of weight. The strength was not a bit thin. Sticky goodness, had to chew it. Let me see. Todd got this Screwball whiskey yesterday. It's a peanut butter whiskey. Haven't tried it yet, though. That sounds pretty interesting. I would definitely check out a peanut butter whiskey. So that means you were getting up on some whiskey tonight? Possibly. I've got like a little bit of a bar over here of stuff behind me that I still need to drink at some point. Still got some of the eggnog downstairs as well. Gave some of that to my wife earlier tonight. Also got some champagne down there and orange juice, so might have mimosas in the morning. Haven't decided yet. Screwball. Had a chocolate porter tonight for the first time. It was great. Which chocolate porter did you have? Was it the Yingling? Yingling. It's a good one, Paul. Well, you probably got it because you're right there in PA. I know some people that are still trying to find it out there, but unless you can get it on tap, I think Billy was in the other night, said he was one trying to still find it. It's not released in bottles. Body-wise on this one, this is pretty much just about full, medium to full body, kind of 3/4 to full, I would say. It's got something else going on with that flavor too. That's just hanging on the lips nicely. It's pretty good, Paul, but they would agree with you. Yes, Yingling. Okay. Yeah, Paul would definitely think Yingling is too thin for him. I like whiskey too, but I don't like having someone hold my hair back later. I saw you, Beer Hound. You ain't got any hair. Looking forward to the new Trail Chocolate Porter. I have not heard about that one coming out. Let's see. So, for this one here, If you're a stout fan, I would definitely say give it a shot. Like Paul said, he picks up Hoppin Frog when he sees it. I would definitely say it's worth a try. What would I rate this for me, or what am I going to rate this on Untapped? I think I just had so many different stouts now that it's almost like you got to really stand out more. For this one, I think I'm going to give this a 3.75 out of 5. It doesn't get over the 4 level for me, but it is good. But you always follow your palate, because your palate is the one that matters. Beer House says, I love whiskey too, but not like having someone. Oh, I read that one, right? Toss it a little Beer Hound. Oh, Miss Happy, which I believe is actually Dolly, who changed her name. Of course, now if you're going to be going by Miss Happy, that's going to lead to happy ending jokes. You know that, Dolly, right? She says, Merry Christmas, alcoholics. Oh, I'm talking back hair. Yeah, if they can grip your back hair, you might want to shave that a little bit. Hey, what's happening, John? Cheers. Hillbilly Select Reviews in the house. Merry Christmas, my friend. Happy New Year to you as well. Paul said, wow, that's low. If anything is under 4, I won't buy it again. I mean, it's a matter of personal preference. I think it's a good stout, but it's not one that hits me enough to make it like a 4 level for what I got. I can't remember what I paid for this one either. And no, it wasn't a Rod J deal, I can tell you that. It just, I don't know, it doesn't move me as much. I'm a hard rater on stuff. It's a matter of what I actually feel, and this one I feel, to me, is a 3.75. As far as on the bottle, this Extreme Double Oatmeal Raisin Imperial Stout, which is the acronym for D.O.R.I.S, will overwhelm, satisfy, and destroy your taste buds like no other. I disagree on that. D.O.R.I.S is even darker, hoppier, and stronger than our gold medal winning D.O.R.I.S The Crusher Stout, dry hopped and first wort hopped with the finest American hops for a great Imperial Stout experience. Enjoy the darkness. So that's what they put in the bottle there, but they couldn't put the date on the bottle. Made from only the finest ingredients to create a superb, flavorful beer of the highest quality. Please pour carefully to avoid disturbing the natural yeast sediment in the bottom of the bottle. Well, we've already disturbed the yeast in the bottle. I don't have a problem with yeast in the beer, though. Just a little bit extra, a little on top. Hi, Rod. Dolly said I had to change it. There was another Dolly. Well, didn't you tell her you were the real Dolly? And then Todd said, hi, Dolly, Miss Happy. Just got another 6-pack of Stone and Joy By. So that's like your six-pack you bought of Stone and Joy By this year. Yeah, you're definitely loving it. Had some apple cider at work. Yuck. Stick to my strawberry quick. Well, depending on which one it was, if it was that old Samuel Adams Boston Beer Angry Orchard, that's not a good representation for some of the ciders that are out there. And then she says hello to Todd. I believe the cap color indicates the date. Really? Well, the cap color on this one was actually green. Is there a month associated with green? Todd, is Shannon around to tell us what month that would be? Because there's no date on the cap on top or underneath. And if you got to go online and look it up, then that's just too much work. Beer House, I'm funny to go get a pick of the Stone Woo Stout. I'm craving something chewy. The Woo Stout was a good beer. I did enjoy that one. That one had a little bit more, to me, I don't want to say than what this one offered, but it just stood out a little bit more to me. It was another one that was done well. Honestly, I'm not even a huge fan of actually rating the beers, but some people do ask what I thought of it, like on a rating type thing. That's why I started doing it again. But when I first started doing the channel, I wasn't even rating the beers. I just wanted to enjoy the beers for the experience. I kind of put them on tap just to kind of for my own feel, and then if I try them out later on to see if it changes when they change batches, if it changes my score or how I relate to it. But I put them out there because people ask. I've actually done a video a couple years ago about ratings, so don't take them all to heart. I mean, if you like something, drink it. Everybody should drink what they like. Todd said, "LOL, ask." Yeah, Shannon will be like, "Oh, green is so and so." Beer House and Enjoy by Latest is great. Paul, do you drain pour if you don't enjoy by? Yeah. The BA versions have different color caps. And Paul said, indeed, the Beer Hound, talking about the stone. Didi said, I like to cook with stouts and drink one, but then I have to sleep in the guest room, if you know what I mean. Yeah, that can happen. I cooked with, I've done different things when I like the beer chili, but the best beer I actually used in the beer chili is actually out where OC is. It was Golden Road and their gingerbread stout I used one year, and that was a great addition to the beer chili. Most of the time I used lager, but I wanted to see what it would taste like if I put the gingerbread in there, and it worked really, really well. She isn't sure, but Emerald is March. Yeah, Shannon is our Miss Cleo. Which reminds me, is Shannon going to have her readings ready? Is she going to be around Thursday if we do the Beer Flow show, Todd? That she'll be able to give the readings to the people that we were supposed to give them to? Hey, what's up, Cerebral Killer? Cheers, my friend. Yes, this is the spot for beer. And for those of you just tuning in, again, it is the Hoppin Frog D.O.R.I.S Destroyer Double Imperial Stout that I am actually drinking. So that way you know, double oatmeal Russian Imperial Stout. Yeah, great to see you as well. Doing good. Finally set for the holiday for the next couple of days. I had to work today and said tonight have a nice beer. I actually, on my community tab, and I might do this like all Monday, I might do it other days too, but I just kind of put categories out there and asked people what they wanted to see a beer review on. And today, stout won last week as well. So I went in to grab a stout to actually review tonight. I thought IPAs might have a shot, but no, everybody was on the stout bandwagon, it seemed. How's it been going in your world? Well, then at least you're a man of good taste. There you go. Oh. I will remind her she works Thursday, but will most likely. How's she going to be on if she's working Thursday? Is she going to come on like after she gets home then? She's a trooper. Make sure if she comes on, you get her some hurricane. The hurricane. Well, I get her earthquake and hurricane. Let her see which one she likes better. Love your chat on the tip debate of 2019. It was actual topic at work. My boss says 15% even a crappy service. I said I can get 15% raise. He said no. Yeah, I mean, it'd have to be horrible, like, to go lower than at least 15%. Most of the time it's at least 20, 25, maybe 30, depending what's going on and where you're at in the service and stuff. But again, I'm a big fan of saying, let's do it the way that it's been done in Europe. Just have the companies pay their employees a bigger wage, and then we'll pay a little bit more on the food that way too. Like I said, I know out in California they've done it with some places. I think New York as well, and they've had some success with that. But it's kind of funny when you do travel to international spots on vacation. It happened when we went to like Cancun, and we went to Dominican Republic, where it's like we would leave tips, and people from Europe were kind of like surprised we were leaving tips there. The beer looks killer. What is the ABV? This one is 10.5. So I will say it kind of pours not fully like motor oil, but like motor oil light. And it's decent. It's if I think of a candy it reminds me of, I would say like the Hershey Kiss as well. That's kind of a candy it reminds me of when I'm drinking this one here. There is that feel of a deeper dark chocolate. Earlier on I was saying Baker's chocolate, but now that I think about it, like a Hershey Kiss, the darker chocolate ones, it's kind of coming through in this beer here. I say the same thing, funny how that works. Hey Rod, I had to work today. Only have Christmas Day off. Cheers to all. Cheers to you, my friend. Yeah, I had to work today as well, Richie, and I'm actually off tomorrow, and then Christmas, of course, and then it's back to work Thursday, and then next week I'm off for New Year's Day. But next Friday, we actually have every Friday, we can have people volunteer where we actually go to St. Vincent de Paul. It's a charity. I've never done it, so I'm going to do it next Friday. But we go there to help them package and do stuff for the people that are needy and everything. So I'll have like a half a day because I go there and I work that. And I don't have to go to my job that day because I went and volunteered. So next Friday will be nice because I won't have to go to the office. And I'll be giving back as well. Yeah, she said off at 6:30 to 7, so plenty of time to join. She's off Fridays. Yeah, she can only take a little bit of a cat nap, and it should be ready to rock and roll. Didi said, have you tried 1050 Stout? Very good. Oscar Blues. Yes, I've had 1050, and I've had the 1050 Barrel Aged. Both are very solid. Sometimes you wonder, does a beer have to have a base version and a barrel aged? I mean, if it's got a good base, and I will say like Oscar Blues, they show why it can make a difference because both of them are solid, but that barrel age is a nice one. So that one to me was like a 4.5 out of 5. So I look at something like that. That one stood out to me more than what maybe this one does. Although this one is good, it's just not as good to me what that one was. They've actually got the barrel aged and the base versions out right now. So I haven't picked it up for this year because I have so much beer here. I probably should, and I can just hold it for a bit before it disappears. But I got the Bourbon County stuff I need to go through as well. I got a few of those here. My one guy that works at the store, he's going to let me know because he had, the way I got the Bourbon County at one of our local spots, they do an auction, and I mentioned this before in some of the shows, where the VIP can just do it, and you don't have to worry about standing in line, all that kind of stuff. And they had a couple on the Monami or the Moncherie, whatever that one is, and another one, because I only got 3 of the 5 that came out, where they may not have, they haven't had people show up yet. So if people don't come pick it up by, I think it's the 27th, he's going to let me know if he has extras. He's going to let me come in and get those, hopefully. So I like to get all 5 if I can. But I did get the 2-year reserves that I'm looking forward to, and I got the wheat wine that I'm looking forward to as well. I heard that was really good. Happy said, right, Todd, my boss is a hater. Todd said mine too. Then Todd said, Didi, very good stout, talking about the Oscar Blues. Looks killer. Yeah, it's got a nice look to it. The head didn't last as long, but with some of the higher ABV stouts, they do dissolve rather quickly, but that's fine because what's really about is the beer. You always want to get a little bit of the head out so you get the gas and stuff out so you're not feeling bloated, and then you can drink more beer too. So I always get a little bothered when I go to some of these bars and they try to run it up where there's like no head on the beer, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, you're not even serving it properly. You want to get a little bit on there, and so sometimes I have to tell them, can you like make sure you put a head on it or stuff like that and everything, but you know, they're not trained right, then it's not always on them either. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Awesome charity work, Rod. Yeah. So, you know, I do different things. I give back and do stuff. I mean, I volunteer for the Beer Fest, which goes to charity, although Todd's done that with me before too. I mean, I wouldn't say that's the best volunteer type thing you can do, but you are volunteering, but this one's definitely a little bit more. And I wanted to do it for a while. It's just hadn't gotten around to it. So, going to do that next week, and should be pretty good. makes you feel good when you do something like that. It's like, I wanted to do it more also when it wasn't just like Thanksgiving or just Christmas, because everybody shows up on those things, like it's those other times during the course of the year they need people as well. I'm needy. I need more craft beers. Don't we all, Hound? Don't we all? No, her cat naps for 12 hours long. Well, that's not really a cat nap if she goes that long. Work tomorrow. Wish I worked Christmas. Avoid the family. Oh, don't want to avoid the family. You're talking to a guy that moved away from the family, so I really can't say. So you've had the barrel as well. So yeah, the barrel age is good. The base is good. And Oscar Blues themselves do a good job. There was just a list that came out of, and it's on my Facebook page. Oh no, it hasn't showed up on my Facebook page yet. It's scheduled to post on it, but it's the top 35 beers of the 2010 decade in craft beer, and Oscar Blues is one of the beer breweries listed. Obviously, Sierra Nevada's in there listed too, but it's a pretty cool list. I think L. Smith is on there as well. So that'll pop up on the Facebook page as also. I might do a video and talk about that list as well at some point. Well, thanks, Richie. I appreciate it, brother. We all just do what we can, right? So, it's, we had a debate the other night. We were talking about, homeless people, whether to give or not to give, or if you're getting conned, all that kind of stuff. It depends how you feel. Like, I've done stuff like buy a meal for homeless people, and occasionally I may give them something, but then I haven't given some that, because I don't know what they may be up to. So, it's, people have to make their own decisions, who they want to help, how they want to do it. But, you read more and more things about how close people are to being a homeless person, and you're wondering sometimes, could have been just one thing that happened and that person's out in the street now. Making Jamaican oxtails and have to pick up some tomorrow. Oh, that's interesting. I've never had oxtails, but it's just funny. I was watching Dinner, Driving, and Dives Friday night at one of the restaurants there. They were doing oxtails, and guy was talking about how good they were there. That would be something I would definitely give a try to at some point. We don't call you Baby Yoda for nothing. Hound, you're still pushing the Baby Yoda? Come on, man. Don't make me pull my Chris Carter graphic. Come on, man. I can only be honored to be a Baby Yoda. You said Baby Yoda. Yes. Todd, don't encourage Beer Hound. Rock, can you make a good, delicious, high ABV brew pour last for an hour? Yeah, I mean, this one, now this is a 22-ounce bottle, so this one will probably last for like an hour or so. A good beer, you don't want to race through it anyway, so if it's a good beer, you want to sit there and enjoy it, not just guzzle it. I mean, the days, at least for me, of sitting back and just trying to get drunk on a beer are way gone. Just like a whiskey, a wine, any type of spirit, any type of wine, any type of beer. So I like to find one that I can savor. That's the thing, like with this one, you can sit here and savor this one over a period of time. As I'm talking right now, I still have a lot of the flavors in the mouth from the beer. I'm getting a lot of that chocolate. I'm still getting the coffee feel. It's doing everything it's supposed to do. It's not like your macro lager, say for instance, a Bud, where it goes so quickly. This one does stay around for a period. Homeless people need craft beer too, huh? Yeah. Oh, let me see. He said, Happy says Beer Hound needs Jesus. Well, Jesus has a pretty booked agenda. I don't know if he can fit Beer Hound in right now, but maybe so. You do this to that, Todd. This is the way. I love sitting and savoring a pour. Yeah, I mean, you have a good beer. Most situations, right? You're at a brewery, you're at a bar, you're out with your buddies, you're out with your significant others, whoever it may be, and you're not trying to really race down a drink. It's not like when we were back, in high school or college or just hanging out when we were younger, trying to just, race through stuff to just get a buzz. If it's something like that, you want to really enjoy it over that period of time. So that's where the quality of the beer actually comes in. Miss Happy, I'm into chicks. Oh, let me see. So is Jesus the reason for the season? Are you rhyming right now, Dolly? What's going on there? Ah. So it's funny on the Christmas movie poll. Christmas Vacation was still second to Christmas Story on there. So that was interesting. Because I thought there'd be other people that will put stuff in besides Christmas Story, but Christmas Story seems to still have the most votes on the Christmas poll, on the Christmas movie on the community tab. But I was thinking I might do a stream tomorrow, and it's funny. I got Christmas Vacation on right now. It's the part with Chevy Chase in the pool, which is pretty hilarious. Trying to think what I want to do for a stream tomorrow. If it just wants to be a beer review or something else, something different. Maybe playing some Christmas tunes. Maybe playing some party tunes because it's Christmas Eve. I have to figure out what I'm going to do for tomorrow. So awkward do you feel when you have to ask for more head on your beer? Not for me, I mean, because I know beer, but it's kind of funny though when I have to point it out or ask someone about it. Like I ask people like who trains them or how they're trained, all that kind of stuff. But I know where you're going with that too, Dolly. But I'll ask them all kinds of questions like that, and it's amazing how many people don't get trained. Because one of the shows I like to watch is Bar Rescue, right? And you watch it, and sometimes you think, oh, this all has to be all set up. Like these people can't be that dumb. They can't do this or that. I shouldn't say dumb. They can't be that ignorant on how to do stuff at the bar. They don't know how to these different things. But when you go out there and you kind of go out there with that eye to kind of watch and see what people are doing, it's surprised that people don't know how to do some stuff because they weren't trained on it. It's interesting. Glad you cleared that up, Dolly. Well, now that Dolly's Miss Happy, she's Miss Happy Ending, so do you get any dates with that request, Todd? Hey, what's happening, Eric? Just picked up a 4-pack of Revolution Brewing D.O.R.I.S Barrel Aged Imperial Stout. Very nice. I've heard of that one from some of the people I know up in Chicago. I don't know, I've been trying it out. You know, have you tasted it yet, or you just picked it up? Interested to see how that one actually feels and goes down. Now for Revolution, I usually have to go out to like Jungle Gyms. I think they might get them in Party Source, but I'm not sure. I know most of the time it's Jungle Gyms when I see them. The whole distribution thing just sucks. I wish it was just you can go anywhere and get any beer. Did a couple bar rescues here in my town, were pretty cool. And they did one here in North Cincinnati. And the bar ended up going back and changing it up after John had left, and then the bar ended up failing and stuff too. But it's some pretty cool concepts that they actually bring to it. But I like some of the little science type things they put into the show, you know, as they talk about why you want to do things a certain way, which is pretty cool. I like this. It's funny on there because then again, you think it's like a setup because these people argue with John Taffer, who set up all these bars across the country that have been successful, and yeah, like he's like doesn't know what he's talking about. It's almost like a little Jerry Springer like in that regard. Not tried it yet. Okay. Well, yeah, it'd be interesting to see what you think of that one. You know, yeah, something like that. I would think it's going to be kind of a pour like this, where it's almost like motor oil. That's it. I'm going to wine in my onesie and getting some woosted out. So, Beer Hound, what do you think of Total Wine? Is that your main spot out there to really get your beer? I went to the one in Dallas, and maybe because I'm a little spoiled up here where I'm at, I wasn't overly impressed with it. I thought their beer selection was actually even smaller than what I expected when I went in. They did have some good choices on some things. I did find out you have to really watch your dates in Total Wine. That's probably because of them being a chain. They had some older stuff out there, like a couple years of stuff that were like still on the shelves, and it's like, dude, you don't want that here 2 years later. Like, nobody wants a 2-year wheat ale, you know what I mean? So You go to Total Wine, just make sure you're checking your dates if you can, because they will put some older stuff out in the shelves. And of course, I did the, which is kind of crazy, I did the video yesterday about 450 North and stuff that I was finding out. I was actually talking to Todd about it. We like part of a group where we message on stuff, and he had actually provided me some other things that he had heard, but some other people were messaging me as well. And I did that video, which has been great because people have been watching and stuff, but I'm interested to see what happens with 450 North now, because they got a new release coming out this week, another slushy, and on their Facebook page, they're already taking a hit, like, well, what's the ABV going to be? And someone noticed on the can design they have for this upcoming week, they didn't list the ABV, and they always list the ABV on their stuff. So if they're trying to hide it now, I just think it's going to be a worse situation for them. So it's going to be interesting, and I'm all for the 450 North guys. I love their beers. Their nuggets have been pretty much fire when they do that series. There's been nobody complained about those, but if the slushies are going to be 2.5% or 3%, that's fine. Just mark them the right way there. I mean, people will buy lambics. People are buying rattlers. They buy low ABV stuff, especially now. You got such a push on for low ABV type drinks. You can easily get away with having those at a lower ABV. Todd said he went to one yesterday, not that impressive, talking about Total Wine. I like them because they have a point system. You always watch the dates and they don't get some beers. Yeah, dates are important. Total Wine is better for whiskeys. Now, I will say when I was at the one in Dallas, I didn't go down the whiskey aisle or vodka and all kind of stuff, but they did seem to have a lot more of the spirits there. They're supposed to come out with more details tomorrow. Right, so that'll be the interesting. No ABV on upcoming release. And that's going to be something that I think may backfire on them, because people are going to have in the back of their head, the people that have been watching this stuff and see it pop up, there's a chance they could be thinking that they're trying to dupe them on what's actually in that beer. And now if you don't give them any number, they're going to be like, what's going on? I just don't think it's a good move if they end up doing that. I really want to see the test results that come back from what they find in their study, if they actually do release those. But like I said, when I did the video, wasn't anything to attack them. I'm a fan of 450 North. I just want to make sure they get the stuff right, and I want people that buy the stuff to know exactly what they're buying, and they're not getting, something that's they're not thinking they're getting there, Which, when you think about it, those that have had the slushy, I can say from my experience, I never really got a buzz off of them. So you can have a few slushies and you're still fine. So you're kind of wondering, was it really at the higher ABV that they thought it was going to be at? They felt very low, and they were just like juice drinking them. Good prices on spirits, yeah. Party Source has good prices on spirits, and so does even Jungle Gyms. And then Depths, where I'll go to. Also, one of the hot chicks that works there gave me a big hug and ass grab every time I go in. Good, you better watch out. Are you doing that grabbing? Because it is the Me Too movement. So, don't want to see a video where Beerhound got arrested. Beerhound's going to be shooting a video with him and Bill Cosby in the same cell. I would say Harvey Weinstein, but it looks like Harvey Weinstein is going to pay his way out of his situation. The crazy world that we live in. A guy posted that he had 5 slushies, never found anything. Yeah, so, I never drank them back to back because I wanted to savor the slushies whenever you got them to us, Todd, but you'd have a couple of them there and you wouldn't feel anything. The nuggets, you felt a little bit more. So the nuggets, I think, are legit, but the slushies didn't do as much. But again, it would make sense that if they were taking their final gravity their original gravity reading after the word has settled, but before they add their fruit juice, it's going to be at a higher level. And the fruits they add, we're going to dilute it. So when they did their final, it was going to be off. So How do you miss that though if you're a brewer? If you're a brewery, how do you not know you need to do that reading at a certain point after you add everything into it? That's the concern. Rod, have ever been in a tiny tap room of a small brewery, having a couple of brews? It can be a nice experience. Yeah, so we have a few tap rooms around here that are small. One of the ones that came up that we went to when Todd came up and Eric and Joe came down, we went to Darkness Brewing, which is basically in a garage. And that was like a cool little room that we sat there, we shot some video and did some stuff there, but it was a nice little setting. Street Side that we went to was also one that wasn't really big either. And we had a great time there as well to get the food truck outside. So I've been to some of the smaller tap rooms, some of the bigger ones as well. And I guess some of the medium ones too. So as long as they got beer, you can make it work. That's my thing. You got beer, we'll figure it out. We'll make it work. A guy posted that he had 5, never felt anything. Now she's grabbing my stuff. Okay, well, if you're giving it away, then you're good to go. So there you go. Of course, if you scream me too, maybe you get free craft beer for life. I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm not saying you should blackmail Total Wine. I'm just saying an opportunity might be there. Chicks are suckers for meds and onesies. Well, they say chicks like the dad bods too, so. Tossed agreed on the ABV and how they make you feel. Yeah. But they're tasty. They are tasty, just they're tasty, a low ABV possible type drink. There's nothing wrong with that. Of course, people may not want to pay the price they're currently selling them for if it's going to be like that, but here we kind of put more of a value, I think, on some of the ABV and what we're going to pay versus other places. Because if you're over like in France or you're in the UK, England, anywhere over like in Europe, and you get a good lambic, people will pay top dollar for a lambic, even though they know it's going to be maybe 3 to 3.5%. But here it's kind of like we expect if we pay more, the ABV to be higher. But to make some of the lower type beers like lambics and gooses and stuff like that, it actually costs more in the product to actually do it. So in some way, we're kind of jaded, I think, in how we look at how the price should match the ABV. Yeah, Richie said absolutely what we were talking about earlier there. But yeah, nice and smooth, steady as she goes. So anybody else got Christmas shopping they still got to finish? Anybody got gift wrapping they have to do tomorrow? They're tasty, nothing wrong with that. Just be honest about it. No one is trying to pay that for a 2.5 ounce beer. Yeah, that's the thing, right? No one wants to pay the price we were paying for just 2.5% ABV. Even some of the higher ABV beers, like people set limits, like they don't want to pay a certain amount, and it could be some of the higher ABV beers. Although I think when they're higher ABV, people are a little bit more easy about doing it, but there's some that are like, you don't want to pay that amount for it. But yeah, tomorrow I have to, tomorrow will be gift wrapping day on stuff, so. Tomorrow I gotta make actually I should do some cooking videos, but I had to do them I'd have to create a new cooking channel, but I have to make a roast tomorrow. Got a nice roast too. There's some nice oven fried potatoes with some Italian cut green beans. It's gonna be a good Christmas dinner or Christmas Eve dinner. Might actually go out and get some shrimp, like a cocktail ring or something. Anybody got any family plans for tomorrow? Or better yet, nobody's saying what they're drinking. Is anybody drinking anything else right now? I know Beer Hound's going to Total Wine in his onesie to get some beer. I don't even know if Paul's drinking or Todd. What are you drinking right now? So we definitely need to set up another round of Would You Rather, the question game, to do that at some point here. So we'll have to find out to coordinate with Shannon's schedule so we could do Would You Rather. It pisses me off when some charge more than 14 for a 6-pack of beer, lower than 5%. Yeah, well, that's the thing though, but depending on the style, it's the cost of actually making it. Like, for instance, here, and they do have some higher ABV beers, but for instance, Urban Artifact, they make great sour beers. They're basically the sour brewer here in Cincinnati. They do sour and wild ales. Great job. A lot of their stuff they do in 4-packs is maybe a little higher than what you're looking at other stuff. And the ABV on some of them isn't that much more than others or even lower, but the quality of their brew makes it why you would actually get that one. So if you're going to do it, you better have a beer that can back it up is the big thing. Beer Hounds, okay, I'll be back. Hope you're still on in a few. Cheers. So Beer Hounds on the beer run right now. Didi says, try smoking the potatoes and oven roast them. Tastes amazing. That could be an idea because I usually have to cut them up and do all that stuff. But I don't have a smoker now. Actually, I need to go get a grill again. I got rid of a grill a few years ago. I need to get another one at some point. Just let her know she loves Would You game. Yeah, we'll do that again there. So let's see here. Richie says drinking a Founders Porter and Old Granddad 114 bourbon on the side. Yeah, you know, Founders is one of those breweries I just don't do anymore. So, but that bourbon, I'm definitely into that for sure. I just don't see a time when I would go back to probably drinking Founders as it stands right now. I have to see what happens, so to speak, there after all the stuff they've kind of went through. Yeah, I've got like a bourbon barrel gin back here. I actually got the one here, which is really good. This is actually a brandy, and I haven't had this in a while, so I might have a little bit of this in a bit. This is a brandy from Kraftwerk, and it's actually done in Bo and Luke barrels, and Bo and Luke is actually from Against the Grain. So let me see here, show you guys. So this is a nice brandy that they put together, and I don't know if you saw this when you were up here, Todd, but it's pretty popular as well. I do enjoy a nice brandy. 55.5% ABV and 111 proof. Non-chill filtered. Copper pot distilled American brandy. Brandy! She's a fine girl, fine girl. I do the roast outside with a cast iron pot on my Weber. Oh, nice. I actually, when I fried the pork chops tonight, I broke out the old cast iron for that because you need to have the cast iron to really get a nice breaded fried pork chop to go. Everybody should have a cast iron pot in their kitchen. If not one, maybe even two, just in case. And those things last forever. Just don't piss off your woman with one and her grab it and put you upside the head. A cast iron will definitely knock you out. Have you had Copper and King's brandy? Awesome stuff. No, I have not had that. I'd be interested in do more brandy type tastings. You kind of get more of a feel. Obviously here in Kentucky we're a bourbon state, but they got some nice other stuff going through the state here as well. I'm kind of almost bummed now because when Todd and Eric and Joe came in, and Joe's dad, we tasted chocolate tequila at one of the places at Party Source, and I actually didn't get it, but Eric actually got a bottle of the chocolate tequila, And I kind of regretted I didn't buy it when I was there because it was really good stuff. And that was like one you could drink almost by itself. You didn't need anything with it either. Had a nice little creamy feel, kind of like when I was doing the eggnog. You could just put it right there, put it on ice, or drink it straight. You're good to go. C&K brandy is excellent. So Todd has actually had that one. Oh, you know what? That's funny. Let me go back because I didn't realize that. I started thinking, you said that. So on the label here, this is actually Copper and Kings. So I guess I can say I've had their brandy. I won't zoom in. There you go, Copper and Kings. And it's their craft work. And it's done in the Bo and Luke barrels, which are one of our breweries here, Against the Grain, which is down where Todd is. So I take that back. I have had Copper and Kings. I was just looking at craft work. But yeah, and this is really good stuff as well. I just need to get more of my spirit game so I can remember all this stuff. Real quick, what do you like more, Stone Woo Stout or Stone Totalitarian? I haven't had the Totalitarian, but Woo Stout was really good. I stopped buying Stone a while back because they kind of got, I don't say a little bit boring to me, but they were definitely not putting out enough stuff to challenge me on that one. But since having a Woo Stout and a couple other things, I'm going to probably start picking up some more of their stuff to check out. I may run out tomorrow and get the Enjoy Buy as well, just so I can do it before the first and taste that as well. Oh, wow. Todd says he's about 10 minutes from Copper and Kings. And cheers, Rod. You're a legend, dude. Happy holidays to you and the fam. And you as well, GSHL. My brother, what's going on? Rocking it up there in Canada. Are you guys doing a live stream tonight, or what do you guys got popping up there? And if you guys haven't checked out GSHL TV, make sure to check him out too. They rock usually through the wee hours of the night. He gets a pretty good panel in there, and they have a blast. Todd said, I thought that was C&K. Yeah. No, unfortunately, J.O. is not with the Party Source. It's kind of funny. I went down to the Party Source last week because I wanted to get the Tangerine Milkshake IPA they came out with from Braxton Labs there, and I actually ran into Amos. Amos used to do the videos with J.O., and I was talking to him for a little bit, all kind of stuff. He's like, he didn't really tell me too much, and obviously he can't because he works there as well, but he was saying, yeah, it was kind of one of those things that happened. It was sad to see and blah, blah, blah. But I was telling him, I'm like, you guys kind of messed up there, I think, as far as the store, because I was in there previously, and I was looking at, was when I got to Bourbon County there in the Crowler, and I was watching one of the guys work the counter where J.O. used to work, and people came up asking about some of the whiskey, and the guy was like, yeah, I really don't know that much about whiskey, and like J.O. would have been nailing people. He'd have been telling them about it. He'd have people buying bottles, and like this other guy just didn't have it. It was just like terrible, and it's like, J.O. was perfect in here. He knew everything. He was able to easily sell to people. People loved his knowledge. Now you got people up here that can't really tell them any more different between a whiskey or tequila or whatever it may be. So kind of sad that he's not there anymore. He brought a lot of value, I think, there. So they did a series with collaboration with a couple of breweries. Yeah, so Against the Grain was the one that I have here. GSL says, wrapping presents for my son at the moment. Yeah, got to get those babies wrapped. And sipping some JW Black Label. Well, that'll get the party started. Stone made it to the world market and thought they made it. I stopped drinking their beers. Got stale for me. Yeah, so you're seeing what I'm saying, Doc. So it's kind of like, and I when I talk about Stone, I used to use the example of Green Flash, which Green Flash is trying to make a comeback now, and they're relaunching some of their stuff on the East Coast. I felt like Stone was there in a good spot. They kind of just pretty much rested on what they were doing. Other breweries were able to catch up with them, and they became stale because they weren't innovating as much anymore. And so I think maybe it was something like when they saw Green Flash go down, for instance, a little bit after that time, they started coming up with other stuff. It seemed to be picking up again. So I'm not sure what exactly was going on there, but which I think it was Greg Cook that runs Stone before he had left, but they seem to now be trying to get more stuff happening and get some more fire burning. So good for them, because Stone is like one of the OGs, right? Stone's like, people know Stone in the craft beer world, so you want them to do well. They've done well for numerous years. And sometimes you just need to get slapped and say, hey, what are you doing? And then you change it up and you get back into the groove again. So looks like they may be doing that. We used to have a World Market here, but it actually closed down. There used to be one here in North Cincinnati. I never got a chance to go in there and see what they kind of carry, but honestly, with the beer stores I got here now, I don't even need any more, really. It's just, we got so much. And I'm always finding new ones. When I went to go get the Big Bad Baptist, I found 2 new stores that actually had those. So one thing I usually do in my Google Maps, I actually keep a list of beer stores that I like. And so when I'm out somewhere, it's just like, hey, how far am I from a beer store? I can just see where I'm at and check out stuff on the fly. Hey, what's happening, Foamy Head? Cheers, my friend, down in Texas. So he's having a Bayou Tesh Brewing Technicals Extra Brut IPA. 12%. Cheers. Well, there you go. Big beer for a big day. I am actually drinking on the Hoppin Frog D.O.R.I.S Destroyer. There you go. So this one, 10.5%. So you can only buy 1.5 there. But this is a 22-ounce bottle. So it's a bigger bottle. Unless you're drinking a 22-ounce bottle, then you still got me. The craft market is very competitive. You can stay still in your standing. Yeah. It's overly competitive now. There was a report that I was reading for the Brew Association that we're looking at like 8,000 breweries, I think, now through 2019. Now, those range from some of the real smaller ones up to obviously the big breweries that aren't, they can include, when you're looking at the 8,000, you're looking at the macros as well. But some of those smaller ones, not everybody's going to be able to get access to. But you have breweries developing business right now. Can't stay still. Red wine and aged bourbon barrels still kicking. Yeah, we actually we have that here as well. My wife just, because she drink more wine than I usually do, she brought a bottle last week that she has downstairs of a cab that's actually done in bourbon barrels. So she's actually getting barrel-aged wine, which surprises me because she's not like a big barrel-aged type beer drinker. Like stouts are usually in barrel-aged. She doesn't drink those, but she was willing to try a wine that was barrel-aged in a beer. I said, that was pretty cool. So she's evolving. Which is always so fun when we go out. It's just like, we would order a beer. She just looks at me and what to order. So I pretty much know her palate, so I order and everything for her. At this point with this beer, I am getting a little bit of a numbing in the mouth. So you can definitely know the alcohol is kicking in. You get a little bit of a warmth in the beer as well. So is anybody else drinking or dabbling in anything right now? Is there any like beer news that might be out here? Oh, I know. Here's a question for you guys. And I'm debated if I'm going to do it or not. I think I may do it after the first of the year. Kind of a video with my favorite beers from 2019. But does anybody have any beers you've tried this year that you really enjoyed? Beers that stood out for you? Anything that really caught your fancy? Tastes like velvet, very smooth. Todd, why aren't you drinking anything right now? Yeah, stouts are perfect for the wintertime. I got a feeling that's why when I ran a poll on the channel earlier, most people voted to actually do a stout, for me to do a stout tonight. So, although for me, I can drink stouts year round. Obviously, it's something like this I wouldn't want to drink like midsummer during a hot day. But at nighttime, I could actually sit back and do one of these. A good stout is always welcomed. Now, the one thing I didn't realize on this, because it doesn't say it, it used to have to say on the label if a beer was actually barrel aged. I'm looking on the website and it says D.O.R.I.S Destroyer is a double oatmeal imperial stout aged in whiskey barrels. So this one is barrel aged actually, which is kind of surprising because it's not on the label here. I thought for some reason you always have to actually put that on the label. And even though they didn't have a date on this one was actually released back on October 25th. So it's somewhere within 2 months old of this beer, which again, at a 10.5% ABV, it's going to be just all right. Or as Matthew McConaughey would say, all right, all right, all right. Just a 12 ounce, but I have a Lagunitas Willetized. Damn it! Next to 12.4. I need to find the Lagunitas Willetized because the new version for this year I haven't found yet. But I take it back. I do have one beer store I haven't went to yet that I can go to tomorrow. They're usually good at getting Lagunitas stuff in, so I may have to roll over there and check it out. In fact, I'm gonna look on my Untapped here. If you're ever looking for a beer and you're on Untapped, just so you know, you can put the beer in and it'll actually, there's a spot where you can actually ask to find it and it will pull stores up that are near you that may have that beer, or those that are registered with Untapped that say they do have the beer. So right now, I'm actually checking to see if I can find this tomorrow. I got two places that popped up, but both of those are actually restaurants, which means it's on tap there. Which I could swing by and have a beer, I guess. One of them's a pretty good barbecue place, so that wouldn't be bad to swing by and see. But the place I'm thinking of, they don't subscribe to Untapped, so they might actually have some bottles there. I want to do a brewery in a tap house earlier, just taking a break for now. Yeah, you shot the pictures from there. You said, what, 101 taps you had there, I believe? Just a 12 ounce, but Lagunitas Willetized. Are you getting more of that one? Richie, are you asking me, or were you talking to Foamy, or... If you're asking me, I won't get another one of these. At least not now. I mean, I've got so many other beers that are here right now. This version downstairs, I actually have the triple. So the triple is 13.7, I think. So it's going to be a triple oatmeal stout. So I'm going to actually do that one at some point as well. But I always try to find different beers, so I don't often repeat as much. Unless it's something like I really like it that much, or it's a Rajay type deal situation where I find a good deal out there. Like I just picked up the Warlocks for 2019, but it was only because I got them for $6.99 a 4-pack. So I got those in the basement. The Vanilla Worldwide Stout for $7.99. Things like that. When those deals pop up, I actually will grab those. But most of the time, I want to check out as many of the beers I don't actually usually get. It's outside of like a Bourbon County where they change it up each year. I'll pick those up as they come out. But there's just too many beers out there. It's kind of like, it's funny, like I watch so many other guys that do the channels, and I see sometimes when they revisit beers, I'm like, How do you revisit a beer you've already had? Because there's so many that I want to try. Hey, cheers, Alan. Welcome, buddy. What is going on? I forgot to see who won the game earlier between UCF and Marshall. I think I picked UCF. I'm hoping I did because they were kicking Marshall's butt. I'm pretty sure I did, but I need to make up some games in the picks that we have on the football show. Hey, Angel, cheers. Merry Christmas to you. It's been a while. Hopefully all is well. Always happy when you stop by. That's what they claim. Growler USA was the place. It's a chain place. Gotcha. Funny thing, though, it's called Growler USA, but you can't get a growler because they don't brew beer, Indiana law. So you can't get a growler fill there because they don't brew. Yeah, but I mean, yeah. That's the problem with the state laws. Like Indiana, you guys just got Sunday sales recently, really within the last year. We have stores here that don't brew beer and have taps. And you can get growler or crowler refills there with no problem. Rod, do you like a good cherry or blueberry stout? I always look for those. I would try a blueberry. I don't see blueberry as much. There is one that is done by Sag and Talk, but I haven't picked it up yet. But cherry, I do like. Bell's has a nice cherry stout, and actually, I got the barrel aged cherry stout from them downstairs as well that I'm going to be trying. Between the two, I would probably lean more towards cherry. I do like the taste of cherries. We had the show I did on Daddy Porter's channel with the Trogs Mad Elf, which is actually a Belgian dark ale, but it uses cherries. That's a beer that I like to try to see what they change up from time to time with that one. I haven't looked at any of the bowl games yet, not going to lie. That'll change tomorrow. Oh, we got some games on tomorrow. I don't know if there's any tonight. I think today was just the one, I believe, the New Orleans Bowl. So, but looking at the first weekend, I was 3-6. Did not see that coming. So hopefully now I'll be 4-6 with UCF getting a win. That's what the guy there said. I never knew that. Never knew what time. Oh, the law. Gotcha. I had Pernicious IPA on tap at Wicked Weed this August. Very nice spot. Then 7 Saturdays R&D brewing. Nice. I would actually like to enjoy Wicked Weed, which is weird because we still don't get them up here as much. At least on the Kentucky side. I haven't really saw them on the Ohio side either, in Cincinnati, which I figured they would pop up more after they fell under the AB and Bev umbrella. Like we get 10 Barrel and we get some of the other beers they put out, but we haven't seen really anything with the Wicked Weed. I've always heard good things about them. I'm kind of interested to see what they taste like. Some people, no way around, they kind of crap on them because they're under AB and Bev, but if they're still making good beers, I mean, I would definitely still try them. Like I said, I just picked up Bourbon County. I'll pick up Lagunitas. Some of these beers are under big names, but if they make good beer, why would you still not try the beer and still try to enjoy it? Yeah, the law. I figured that out right before you put that in there. Yeah, the law on the growlers. Yeah, I wish we just had one law for everything and then people would just know. It's funny how that is. At least I know now when I fly again, I can put beer in my bag and check it, which will save me from having to ship it back by... I found out when I went to Dallas that the law is you can actually bring back as much beer as you want in luggage and check it, because the only thing you have to declare is like it's over 25% ABV. So I would just pack it safely because you know how baggage handlers are. They will throw those bags around and you don't want those babies cracking. And actually on Amazon, they have suitcases that are basically designed for beer or wine or whiskey, whatever it is, to come back, where they basically have shapes cut into the foam and stuff, which is pretty cool. Yeah, but it was a decent beer from Hoppin Frog. A nice big stout. Get the body all juice. Definitely feeling pretty good here. The glass has been emptied. So with that, I'm going to actually look to get it wound down here. Been going, I think, for a little bit of time. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Going to do one tomorrow, I think. I'm going to try to come back with some topics that we can share tomorrow. Maybe some. I would actually. I'm trying to think if I can find some stuff. Maybe like try to do another game or something tomorrow, which would be kind of cool if people are hanging out. Obviously, it's Christmas Eve, so family comes first. If you guys were family, that always works. But if you're freed up and I'm streaming, definitely invite you to come in and join and bring a little drink with you that you can actually savor. Amazon, damn, they're taking over the world. Was that your Florida Evans dam from Good Times? Yeah, Amazon is pretty huge. We actually got an Amazon hub here where I'm at as well. In Cincinnati, and there's like one down, I think, towards Louisville, close to where Todd is, and I think they even got one between us and West Virginia. Last time we had drove down there, I thought I saw one. So they are taking over. We got an Amazon hub at our airport. It's just crazy. But yeah, everybody have a great night. If we don't catch up tomorrow, everybody have a Merry Christmas when it comes around on Wednesday. Um, that's the only day. I don't know if I'll be streaming on Wednesday or not. I may, just because for me it's easy because it's just me and my wife here. So she's already laying down anyway, so I got free time up. So I might do a Christmas. If I do a Christmas night stream, maybe I'll play Christmas music on that stream or something. But tomorrow I'll probably do something as well. Everybody have fun. Enjoy your loved ones that are in town. For those of you, again, that like gaming, I think we're going to jump into the gaming channel. And then we're going to do some stuff over there depending on what we're going to play. And then I'm going to sign off. So thanks for everybody that tuned in. Remember, there's always time. Get your beer on. And I will look forward to catching you guys next time. Cheers, everybody.
Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better come.